This video is part of a series of SSIS tutorial videos created by COZYROC. In this video, I will show you how to configure a package that creates a remote directory on an FTP server using the FTP task. Then I'll show you how to remove a remote directory on an FTP server using the FTP task. Here I am in Visual Studio, and the first thing I'll do is define a variable to point to my remote path where I want to set up the directory. So I'll call this remote path, and the data type will be string. And the value will be / and then new directory. So that will create a directory called new directory on the root of my FTP server. So now I'll find the FTP task and drag that onto the control flow canvas. And I'll be using it to create remote directory. And I double click on the task to open the task editor. And I need to set up an FTP connection manager. So I choose new connection. I'm using FileZilla for my FTP server, and it told me to use this IP address for the server name. And I set up a username and password on the server. And let's make sure I typed that in correctly, and I did. So I'm done configuring the connection manager. Now I'll go over to the File Transfer tab. And first I need to choose the operation, which will be create remote directory. And I'm going to use a variable for the remote path. So I'll select true here for is remote path variable. And now I will choose my remote path variable that I just set up. I'll click OK, and I'll save the package. Then I right mouse click on the name of the package and I select execute package. And it was successful, so I'll stop debugging and we'll go take a look at the remote directory, and there you can see my new directory that was just created. Stay tuned to see how I remove a remote directory using the FTP task. Now I'm going to remove that directory. And by the way, the directory must be empty in order for this to work. If there are files in your directory, remove them first by using the delete remote files operation in the FTP task. My directory is empty, so I don't need to remove any files. So I'll drag the FTP task back onto the control flow canvas. And I'll name this remove remote directory. And I still have my variable set up for the new directory, the file path. And so I just double click on the task editor, and I still have my connection manager set up to access the FTP server. And I'll go to File Transfer, choose a different operation, which is remove remote directory. And again, I'm going to use a variable for the remote path. And I'll use the same variable as I used to create the directory. And then I click OK. And I'll save the package and right mouse click and select execute package. And it was successful. So I'll go over to the remote server, and you can see new directory is now gone. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to follow us on social media, here's how you can do that.